Hey guys, looky here. This is a new pattern by Papaya. It is the CiCi Tote. Look how cute this little CiCi Tote is. Alright, so it has a recessed zipper. Can't do that with my left hand. Alright, open it up. We have two slip pockets here. And then on the other side we have a zip pocket. There we go. The outside is very pretty. It has the hardware on it, so it has the rivets and the pretty stitching. Look how pretty. It has this accent piece at the bottom. That's what the bottom of it looks like. Look how pretty. See, they line up real nice here on both sides. Look at that stitching. Isn't that pretty? Okay, so I'm using canvas. My camouflage is a canvas. I'm using green vinyl that I got from My Punk Broidery. My zippers I got from My Handmade Space. Let me zip it up so you can see it. It's really hard to do it with the phone, okay? My zipper I got from My Handmade Space, and it's got this pretty flower pull on it. It's rose gold. I love it. It's beautiful. The rivets that I used, I just got from Amazon. I'm using Woven Fuse 2 for my stabilizer. On my outside pieces, I use Decaville Light, and on the bottom, I use Decaville Heavy. So let's go make this bag. Alright guys, so the pieces we need for the CiCi bag are pretty minimal. So we need, falling out of my lap, there we go. Okay, so we need 2 pieces of outside fabric, and I'm using a canvas camouflage. I have it backed with Woven Fuse 2 and Decaville Light. You'll need your 2 like accent pieces that go at the bottom. You'll need 4 of these, and I've left one so I can show you how to make them. It's just the straps for our pocketbook handle, the bottom of your bag, and I put purse feet on them, and I put Decaville Heavy on the back, and I made sure that I cut it out of my seams and did 1/2 inch all the way around. I put tape on my purse feet prongs so that it doesn't rub my bag. You're going to need 2 handles. I left one to make with you, and I've already made one. Look how pretty. Okay, so for the inside of your bag, you'll need 4 1-inch rectangle rings. You're going to need your top lining piece, and there's 2 of them, and I have them backed with Woven Fuse 2. You're going to need the pieces for your recessed zipper. You're going to need your zipper, and there's 4 of these, and they are backed with Woven Fuse 2. So there's 4 of these. 1, 2, yes, 4 of these, and your zipper for your recessed zipper. You have a slip pocket, and there's 2 of these, and they're backed with Woven Fuse 2. I'm going to do my inside zipper pocket a little different than she does, so I'm just going to do it how I feel comfortable doing it. So I have 2 pieces here backed with woven fuse 2 and my zipper. And then we need 2 lining pieces, and I have them also backed with woven fuse 2. So let's get started. Okay, the first thing we're going to work on are our handles. And what I've done was I've got a 4-inch strip here. I've marked the center. Okay, I've marked the center. I run a piece of this double-sided 1/4 inch leather and vinyl tape from Waywack down the center. I folded these into the center so they meet, and then folded them again. And now I'm going to sew 1/8 of an inch down both sides. Nets in here. I don't know how they got in here. Alright, there's our handles. I got sticky tape on my scissors. Okay, there's our handle. Look how pretty. Alright, both of our handles are done, so let's set them aside. Okay, so now what we're going to do is we're going to work on our connectors. Okay, so what we're going to do is pull our tape off. I've done marked my center, so I'm going to fold this up to the center, just like that. There we go. And I'm going to fold this down to meet our line. Okay, and what you want is you want from the top here to the bottom here to be 8 inches. So just like that. Let me measure again to make sure. Yeah, just like that. I'm going to take a little piece of this tape. Here. measure 8 inches again, make sure. Yep. And stick it down straight. And then I'm going to take a piece of this and run it down the middle just so that it'll hold it where I want it while I sew it on. Okay? So now we're going to take our panel pieces. If you have a direction to your outside pieces, you want to do this marking on the top. So I'm going to go 2 inches down. Move this panel piece. Okay, I'm going to go 2 inches down. Let's find the center first. I'm just going to snip a little bit here, mark my centers. Okay. So now I'm going to go 2 inches down. And I'm going to make a mark. Okay. And then I'm going to go from my center out 3 inches. And make a center line. Okay, so from my center line out, I'm going to go 3 inches. And this is where I'm going to line that one up. I'm going to go 3 inches. So 2 inches down, 3 inches from the center. They should be 6 inches apart. So right there. Alright, so I'm going to pull my sticky tape off, or the backing of my sticky tape, and I'm going to put it right. So I'm going to line the top up here up with the 2-inch line and come straight down, straight as I can. That looks about right. And I'm going to take another one. My sticky protect off. I'm going to line it up with the 2-inch line at the top and come straight down. This one looks a little crooked. It's straight. It's straight. Okay, so now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this to the machine and I'm going to sew up one side. I'm going to sew up one side, sew over, and I'm going to come back down, and I'm going to do that on all 4 pieces. I thought it did. And then I'm going to take it and put some rivets in it. I may be taking that one off because I'm not crazy about how it caught the vinyl at the top. So I may be doing that one again. Alright, so do your other two and then we'll continue on. So that's what your panel should look like. Now I'm going to get some rivets and put some rivets in it. Alright, so now we're going to add the rivets. And what you need is, these come in a kit, so you need the little thing that cuts them. That cuts your holes. Let me empty my whole thingy. There we go. Okay, so you need this, and it has a sharp little end on it here. This sets your rivets. This goes on the bottom, and you're going to need 2 rivets for each handle. So I'm just going to kind of put this in the center-ish. So I'm going to put one here. I'm just going to make a little mark with it. I think I'm going to put one here. Yep, that looks good. Okay. Then you're going to put the rivets through. These are double cap rivets. Okay. So then with the little hole up, you want to put your cap in that one, and then this one has like a divot in it. You're going to put it on this and set them. Okay, and go to the next one, and that's what you have. Isn't that pretty? So let's go ahead and do that with all of them. So I'm kind of going to gauge there, and maybe there. So I'm going to cut. Okay. Put my rivet in. Flip it over to the other side, put the cap on them. Put your, it's got like a indentation in it. This side's flat and this one's got a little indentation, a curve that fits around the cap. There's our front panel so far. Very pretty. So let's do the second one. Alright, so now we're going to take our accent piece. Take your accent piece. And I have double-sided tape on it. I'm going to pull these pieces off. It's just going to hold it in place while I sew it. This is not anything structural. It's just going to hold it while I sew it. And that's only because I'm using vinyl. I can't put pins in vinyl, because if you put pins in vinyl, you leave holes. So that's why you use the double-sided tape when you have vinyl. Really sticky. Okay. So how we're going to line this up is this piece at the bottom. This piece that's hanging off at the bottom here. We're going to hang that off the bottom of our panel here. So we're going to line it up edge to edge. Smooth it down. And see, so this one is hanging off the bottom of our panel. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to start here. Oops, you can't see me. I'm going to start right here and I'm going to come up. And this is just a base stitch on the sides. And then I'm going to do a very pretty top stitch along here and then come back down this side. You really want to take your time here because you want these to be nice and pretty curves. So just take your time, go really slow. And do a base stitch down the side here. So that's what we have. I think I'm going to fix this little piece and this little piece because I kind of went off a little bit. So let me do that. Be very careful. You want to go down in a hole when you have vinyl. Okay. And then there's a little hiccup right here where I hit the wall with my panel that I want to fix. 2 more stitches. Much better. Alright. So there's our front panel. You can do another row of stitching if you want. I think I'm just going to leave mine with 1 row. So let's get our other panel and do the same thing. Alright, so now what we're going to do is get our bottom. And you want to be very, very careful because these purse feet can scuff your leather or whatever it is you're working with. If you're working with vinyl, it can scuff it. I'm going to take my Wonder Clips and I'm going to clip right along here, lining everything up. Don't know why that's longer, but let's center it. Let me show you a trick that I use. I write down my seam allowance on a piece of tape and I tape it to the top of my machine so that I can just glance up there and look and see how big a stitch length I need to take. And mine has to be 1/2 inch. So let me put my guide in. Okay, so there's my 1/2 inch. So I'm going to sew this down the bottom with a 1/2 inch seam allowance. And that should be where the bottom of your bag, where this little V is, that should be your 1/2 inch. That's what we have. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and sew it onto the other side, and then I'm going to top stitch the both sides at the same time because I have to take my seam guide off to top stitch it. So I'm going to do it like this. bottom one right there because it seems to still wiggle a little bit. Half inch. I didn't sew none of that. Let me get a new bobbin. Alright, so let's do that again. So what I wanted you to do was fall on the floor. Excuse me. Alright, so now let's sew this with a half inch. Alright, so that's what it looks like. I'm going to move my seam guide. Now I'm going to open this seam in the back. I'm going to open it flat. Like this. And I'm going to top stitch down the side of both of these. Down the side of both of these, down this seam, down this side and this side, and do the same thing on both sides. top stitch on this other side. Now I'm going to open this one and do the same thing. Alright, we almost got the outside made, guys. We're almost ready for the inside. Alright, so now what we're going to do is sew the two sides down just like that. Line them up and sew them down. I'm going to line up my accent pieces. These two pieces here, I'm going to make sure they line up. And put a clip in it. Okay. Half inch right there. And then I'm also going to do what I call got your back stitches, and I'm going to sew 1/8 of an inch from that line. If ever you see your threads pulling, you do these I got your back stitches. It really helps. So that's just 1/8 of an inch to the right side of that. Sorry I bumped you. So the right side of that seam. Hope you can see that. Okay, so let's do the same thing on the other side. I got your back stitches. It's just 1/8 of an inch away from that first stitch to the right that we just sewed. Okay, so just like that. Alright, so now we're going to box the bottom. So we're going to take this and we're going to open the seam up. And then we're going to pinch it with this one. Just like that. Okay. If you can see, so it's a 1/2 inch and they're lined up right here. So I'm going to go ahead and do my other side. I'm going to open this seam up, kind of finger press it to begin with, kind of go ahead and get it started. And then I'm just going to pinch these out flat. Okay. Now we're going to sew 1/2 inch down there. Don't be scared to push your bag down, because you're going to have to. I'm going to have to get it in there. I know you can't see what I'm doing, I'm sorry. And while I'm right here on this one, I'm going to do my got your back stitches. Just 1/8 of an inch from that one line to the right side that we just sewed. Okay. So I hope you can see that. And there's what that side looks like. And now we're going to do the same thing on this side. Okay. Now I got your back stitches. Alright guys, that is the outside of our bag made. I'm going to cut these seams. I'm going to trim this seam down a little bit. But I think I'm going to wait until I put the recessed zipper in to do that. And I can go ahead and cut these down. These down a little bit. Alright, so there's that. Looks great. I don't know if you can see or not. I'm going to get our lining pieces and then we'll get started on them. Alright guys, so we're going to start with the zipper pocket side. I'm going to put a zipper pocket on the back side of my bag. And the direction the pattern said measure 2 inches down, so that's what I did. I measured 2 inches down, and then I drew my rectangle for my zipper. What I did was I measured 1 1/4 inches down from here. I made this top line, then I measured 1/2 inch down from here. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to sew around this rectangle box. Keep in mind I have my side to right side. I'm going to shorten my stitch length, and then I'm going to sew around this rectangle box. Alright, so now what I'm going to do is take my X-Acto knife or blade, or you can use a pair of scissors, you can use, you know, anything that you feel comfortable using. And where I've come in at the angles here, at the corners, I'm going to cut that, and I'm going to cut right down the middle. This doesn't have to be straight or perfect. You just don't want to cut any of the stitches that you just put on there. Oh, my blade's dull. Need to get a new blade. You do want to make sure there's nothing underneath your piece while you're cutting, so that you don't cut another pocket piece or anything like that. That would be terrible. There we go. So I got a little catch right there. Oh, come now. One little thread. There we go. Alright, so we'll get in there. Alright, so this is what we got. Okay. Hope you can see that. We've cut all the way down. Now we're going to take this pocket piece and stick it through the hole. Go. I'm going to take this to my iron and press this down, but that's what you want. You want it to look like that. Okay. sticky tape. Alright, so now that I've got this ironed and pressed, this is what it looks like. This is what the inside looks like. And I have my zipper, and I put sticky tape on both sides of it. Again, this is not structural, doesn't help out the bag at all. All it's going to do is hold the zipper in while I sew it. So you could use pins or clips or whatever you want to. So I'm going to remove the top one, only the top one. I'm going to lay it down, and I'm going to line it up in our window. This window right here. I'm going to center it just like that. Okay. Then I'm going to take and pull off the bottom sticky tape. If I can get a hold of it. There we go. Hold my zipper pull. One thing you do want to do is you want to make sure that your zipper pull is facing the left. Alright, so there's what our zipper looks like. So I'm going to sew that on. And I'm going to make my stitches really, really small, so I'm going to put my stitch length at a 2. I'm still an 1/8 inch away from that fold. Oh, that's really tiny. I don't need them that tiny, so I'm going to put it at a 3 then. Turn it loose. Well, we're going to be okay then. That was really, really tiny. Okay. We're going to get on this side. Okay. We'll clean this up a little bit. Let's see if I can get it this way. Oh yeah, that cleaned it up nicely. So there's our zipper sewed in. It's not quite straight and perfect, but you know what? This is going to be on the lining. Nobody's going to look in the lining. Nobody's going to pay that much attention to your lining. Okay, now we're going to take our other zipper pocket piece, I'm going to lay it on top, right sides together, and I'm going to sew across the top and the two sides. I'm going to leave the bottom open because I'm going to turn the bag through there. Actually, I'm going to turn the bag through the bottom of the lining, and then I'm going to pull the lining through the pocket to sew the lining closed. So I'm going to sew the two sides and the top and leave the bottom open. Just sewing a 1/4 of an inch here. Back stitching over our zipper. Okay. Across the top. That's it. So that's one side of our lining. So let's set that aside. See if I can clean that up just a little bit more. Alrighty. So get our other side. Alright, so this side's going to have a slip pocket. That's what these two pieces are. I'm going to lay these down right sides together. And I'm going to stitch all the way around and leave the opening so we can turn it. I'm just going to pin in the corners. And I'm just going to sew 1/4 of an inch. Like I said, I'm going to leave the opening to turn it. Okay, before I turn it, I want to snip these corners so that we have good and crisp corners. I'm not hitting the threads. I'm about 1/8 of an inch away from the threads. And then we're going to turn it right side out. Now I'm going to take this to the iron and press it. I'm going to take a chopstick or the purple thing or whatever you have that you use to poke your corners out. Poke your corners out and give it a press. Also, right here where our hole is at, I'm going to go ahead and fold this down and make it straight across here. Okay. Okay, so the parent said to put our slip pocket piece 2 inches down and centered. So I'm going to top stitch the top here. Naturally. Okay, so now we've got 2 inches down, and I've drawn a line down the center of my pocket here. So I'm going to line that up, and I'm going to pin it on. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to sew down one side. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to sew down one side. I'm going to come up here to the line that I drew. I don't know if you can see my pink line. Maybe you can, right here. There's a pink line. So I'm going to sew down here, sew to the pink line. I'm going to sew up. I'm going to back stitch a couple times and turn around and come back down, and then continue on. And that's going to split our pocket in two. Also too, this is our hole where we turned it at. So as we sew across the bottom, it's going to close that hole up for us. Let's sew to a line right there. I'm going to sew up. Okay. Put the needle down, pivot, sew right back down. And then I'm going to continue on. And closing up our hole. So there's our slip pocket right there. So just don't go in that far. So now we're going to work on our recessed zipper. Okay. We don't need them two pieces just yet. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to mark, let me move this pen out of the way so you can see good what I'm doing. I'm going to mark 1 inch down my zipper. And make a line on both sides of the teeth, and this is going to ensure that our zipper stays straight. Alright, so now what we're going to do is we're going to, on this line, I'm going to pinch it and bring it up, and we're going to make a 90-degree angle there. So that's what it should look like. Okay, so on the line, I'm going to pinch it. I'm going to fold it down just like that. I know it's hard to see with my fat fingers in the way. And put a pin in it. So when we sew our zipper up, it's going to be straight. So now I'm going to take it to the machine and I'm going to baste down both sides of this. And then I'm also going to clip off the edge of the zipper and then seal the edge of it. Just like that. And we'll do that on the other side. All the lighter's doing is going to stop it from fraying as you sew. as you handle it. And that's what our zipper looks like. So now I'm going to take it and I'm going to sew across the bottom just so it doesn't come undone. We have a zipper tab that's going to go on it, but for the time being, I'm just going to sew back and forth over it a couple of times. So that it don't come undone. And I'm going to seal that just like that. Okay. So now what we're going to do is we're going to take our pieces and we need to fold these in 1/4 of an inch. My tape happens to be 1/4 of an inch, so I'm going to lay it on the edge. I'm going to cut it off. Oh, don't stick to yourself. Just like that. And I'm going to do it on the other side. Okay. I'm going to pull the backing off. And I'm going to fold this up 1/4 inch. Just like that. Just like that. Okay. So we're going to do this to all 4 pieces. Okay, so now we're going to take our zipper. We're going to lay it right side up. We're going to lay our outside piece right side down. Let's see which ones I want on my outsides. I think I want this one and this one, and these two be the lining. Okay. So take your outside piece, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to line the edge of the zipper up with 1/4 of an inch where I started the fold. So just like that. All the way down. You can baste the zipper in if you want. I'm not going to baste it. Okay. So then on the other side, we're going to take one of our lining pieces. Mine are the same. If yours are different, then you'll know the difference. And you want to line them up pretty straight. You want to make sure they're pretty straight. And put in lots of clips. I'm going to throw them on the floor. Just like that. And I'm going to sew that with 1/4 of an inch. My foot happens to be 1/4 of an inch, so that's what I'm going to use. So now we're going to open this up, and this is what we have. Just kind of pulling it with my fingers away from the zipper. You don't want sagginess around your zipper. Making sure everything's straight. You can take this to the iron and press it if you want to. Just be real careful and not to melt your zipper, because that zipper's nylon and it will melt. By the way, my zippers I get from My Handmade Space, and I'm using a number 5 zipper. MyHandmadeSpace.com. So that's what your zipper looks like. Okay. So now we're going to top stitch. We're going to sew from here, go down, and then sew across the bottom, and then I'm just going to baste the bottom shut. Let's try that again. Alright, now I'm just going to baste the bottom shut. There's one side, so now we're going to do the exact same thing on the other side. The piece we want on top, we're going to lay on top this way. Make sure everything lines up. You want these pieces to line up pretty straight. Okay. You don't want a crooked zipper. Would not be nice. And like I said earlier, if you want to, you can go ahead and take this to your machine and baste it. You baste this part of your zipper on. I'm not going to do that. It seems a little bit longer than the other one, so I get them straight. Okay. Flip it over, get your lining piece upside down. So basically making a zipper sandwich. Everything lines up good. You have all 3 zippers, all 3 pieces of your zipper where it needs to be. And clip it down. Also is a little too long. one's soft. Let's do this one 1/4 inch. I'm going to get my zipper out of the way. Press everything back good. And clip it like we did a while ago. So let's base this one on. I mean 1/2 inch, let's top stitch it on. 1/8 of an inch. And there's our recessed zipper. You can take this to the iron and press it if you want to, if it got a little wavy in the process of all the pulling and stuff. But there's your recessed zipper. Alright, so now we're going to take lining piece number 1, the top, and I have the top of this made marked. So I'm going to mark the top of my zipper pieces. Do the middle of this one too on here. Okay. You want your panel piece up and you want your zipper up. And you're going to mark your centers and start pinning from the center out. Or clipping, whatever you're using. Lining up the raw edges. You want your zipper up though. You want your zipper facing up so that when you put it in your bag, you have it recessed in like this. Okay. And I think we sew that on with 1/2 inch. Let me check the pattern real quick. Yep, 1/2 inch. Alright, so get my marker again. Powerful magnet. There's a 1/2 inch. Okay, so now we're going to do that to the other side. We're going to get our other panel piece, lay it up, take our zipper and lay it up. We have the center mark here. Oops, I'm sorry. Hit you with my chair leg. Here we go. So I got the centers marked here, center marked there, and clip. And sew that down with 1/2 inch seam allowance. So there's the recessed zipper sewn in. Okay, so now we have, drop that on the floor. So now we have to take these two pieces right here, and we're going to sew them down, and that's going to make the zipper sink, making it recessed. So I'm going to sew this on with 1/2 inch seam allowances. Now, let's put it on the other side and then we'll top stitch it. Not again. there's the top of our bag. Okay, so now we need to box the corners of these. So we're going to line these up pretty perfect. Right here. We'll line these up. Right there. Across the bottom. Tuck our zipper in. Alright. So now we need to measure 2.5 inches in these corners and cut them off. What did I do with my little ruler? Oh, it fell in the floor again. That's okay, I'll get this one. Alright, so we're gonna go. I got a lot of clips on the floor. Alright, so we're gonna go. Making sure everything stays lined up. 2.5 in, 2.5 up. Okay, make your square. This is where we're going to box our corners. So we're going to do it on this side again. It's lined up, 2.5 in, 2.5 up. And then we're going to cut these out. Okay, now what we're going to do is we're going to sew down the side of our bags. So I'm going to start right here, and I'm going to start at 1/2 inch, and then I'm going to increase to 5/8, and then I'm going to sew 5/8 across the bottom, except I'm going to leave an opening, really big opening at the bottom for us to turn our bag through. I'm going to start 5/8 on this side, sew up some, and then finish at 1/2 inch. And that's gonna stop our bag from being really saggy in the lining in the bag. So I need my gauge. I'm gonna start at 1/2 inch. So I'm gonna put this here at 1/2. Okay. Make sure your zipper is tucked in. You don't want to sew that. So after I get here, I'm going to put my needle down, and then I'm going to start increasing to 5/8. So 5/8 is here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There's just a little bit bigger than 1/2 inch. Okay. And then I'm just going to start increasing until I get to the 5/8, just like that. I'll spin around here. I'm going to do 5/8 at the bottom, only for a little while, maybe 2 inches. And then I'm going to come over here and do it at the end here. I'm going to leave a great big opening in the bottom so we can turn it without struggling. 5/8 is there. Now I'm going to start 5/8 and go back up to 1/2 inch. So I'm going to sew to about right here and then increase and then kind of veer over to 1/2 inch. Like I said, that's going to stop your lining from being baggy in your bag. Okay, so now I'm just going to veer in just ever so much to 1/2 inch. Got my needle down. Oh man, I was dead on. I was dead on 1/2 inch. There we go. You just can't get no straighter than that. Okay. Trim all our threads. Okay. Now we're going to box the bottom. So we're going to do the same thing that we did. I'm going to open my zipper, make it easier for the bag to collapse so I can do this. To reduce bulk, I'm going to open both of these seams and line them up. Okay. So both of my seams are open and they're lined up straight. And it's a 5/8 inch seam is what we want to sew them at. Let's sew these down at 5/8. Let's mark this 5/8. Let's do the other one. Alright. I'm going to trim these seams down a little bit to about 1/4 of an inch. I'll do these seams too. I'm going to come down just to get some bulk out of there. Okay, and after I set the bottom, I will trim that one as well. Okay, so I think we need to turn our lining right side out. Okay, and then we're going to trim some of these seams down as well, just to get some of that bulk out of there. So we have the outside of our bag, right side in. We have the lining of our bag, right side out. We're going to put it in here and line everything up. You want to make sure the side of the bag that you want to be the front and the back go where you want them to be. Okay, so I want that to be the back of my bag. And yeah, so that's where I want it at. So I'm going to meet these seams first, my side seams. Okay, now that lined up. Oh yeah, that's going to be good and nice in there. It's not going to be saggy or anything. And then I've got my centers clipped on everything, so I'm going to meet my centers, line everything up, and clip it. I like to clip in my bag. I know you're probably not going to be able to see what I clip in my lap, I mean. Around the top, we're going to combine these two, put the lining in the bag. Alright, so I'm going to switch sides with you so you can see what I'm doing at the machine. Alright, so what we're going to do is pick a spot and start sewing. I kind of like to sew, start right on one of the seams. But however you can get your bag in there. And we're going to sew this at 1/2 inch. 1/2 inch seam allowance. All the way around. Just take your time. No need to get in a hurry. And then just roll it. Turn it down. Can you see what I'm doing? Yeah. And then just roll it. All the way around. Oh, we got caught on the clip up here. And be real careful, make sure your lining don't slip. I'm slipped a little bit. Also too, probably be a good idea if you started with a full bobbin, or made sure you had enough to go around, which I did not, so maybe I have enough to go around. And then to do this top stitching. I'm ready to go. Okay, so now what I'm going to do is I'm going to work the bag through the bottom. Oh. So let's see if I can back you up so you can see me do that. I'm going to be real careful because you have your purse feet on. If you put purse feet on, because you don't want to scuff your vinyl or leather or whatever you're using, cork. And just pull it out easily. There we go. So we've got it all inside the lining now. So now all we got to do is reach across reach in here to the lining and pull the bag out. That's why I like to leave a nice big hole in it so you can just pull it right on out of there. So cute. Okay, so let's very carefully get this corner out. And one more corner. Oh, it's so cute. Alright, so let's push the lining in just a second, and I'll show you what I was talking about earlier about pulling it through the pocket to close the liner. There. So that's what that's going to look like with our recessed zipper. So cute. Alright, so now, oh, you can't see it. That's what it looks like. Alright, so come back. Baby, come back. Alright, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to pull my lining back out. I'm going to open this zipper. I'm going to stick my hand in the zipper. And I'm going to pull out the pocket. Okay? Stick my hand back in, grab the lining, and pull it through the pockets. And then when you close it up, you don't have no weird places in the bottom of your bags. Okay, and we're going to close this up with 5/8 inch seam allowance. I know I have 1/2 inch on there, but I'm just going a little bit past 1/2 inch. Okay. Everything lined up. All right, and I'm going to trim that down some to about 1/4. Stick that back down through the pocket. Okay, now we're going to close the pocket. To do that, I'm just going to fold this down and make them meet. Make them straight. You can take this to the iron at this point if you want and press it down. I'm just going to fold it in with my fingers. Just make these meet. All right. And I'm going to stitch this down with an 1/8 inch seam allowance. Alright, so stick your pocket in. Okay. You can close your zipper back up now. And then you want to fold everything down right here. And pull the lining down from the inside, make sure everything's nice and straight and clip it. kind of roll them back and forth in your fingers, and they'll give, so you can lay them flat. There you go. So pretty. Alright, so there's our bag. So all we have to do is top stitch it. And put our zipper pull on and put our handles on. So let's do that. So I'm going to start again on one of these side seams. Let's get you in here so you can see what I'm doing. Move everything out your way. Alright, so I'm just gonna I like the way the top of my thread looks better than the bobbin, so I'm gonna stick it in this way. I know I can do it the other way, but I want to do it this way so that it looks better. I like the way that part looks. The stitching on that looks better. So I'm going to start right on them seams, just like that. Again, this is probably a good time for you to do a bobbin check, but I didn't. And then you're just going to roll the bag and making sure that the seam is like right on the top. Almost there. Alright, so let's do our zipper stop. Alright. Okay, so what I did was I cut my zipper down some. I opened the zipper until I was out of the bag and could open the bag completely and it not pull on the zipper. That's where I cut mine off. And then I added an inch. I cut my zipper piece of vinyl and I cut it 1 1/4 by 2 inches and then just kind of halved it. And now I'm going to sew a square around that. Okay, so that's what our zipper stop looks like. So just tuck it down in there. It's really cute bag. Okay. Now let's add our handles. Alright guys, so here I am. I've got one more left to do. Look how pretty these are with the straps on them. What I'm doing is measuring up 1/2 inch from the bottom. Kind of putting it almost dead in the center. Putting a dot. And then from that dot, I'm measuring up 1 whole inch. I'm putting another dot in the center. My hole punch. Them holes out. Make sure your strap don't get twisted. It goes straight at the top. And they do. Oops. Well, I'm gonna go. Through both holes. Oh, I should poke my hole a little bigger. Put your cap on the end. There you go. If you can see down in there, it's a brown line and you probably can't. Let's get a lot over here. See, it's not saggy at all. It's nice and tight against the bottom. That's what that 5/8, when you increase to the 5/8 does. It allows it to lay nicely in there. Okay. That's what our bag looks like, guys. Look how pretty. Oh, so pretty. Alrighty guys, that's it. Thank you for watching and I hope you have a great day.